This tutorial is for the employment programs and designed to show the information needed to generate the Employment Services Unit weekly report. So there's basically three things we're going to have to input. One is telling it who our new clients are, two is to input action plans, and three is to input employer information for when they find a job. So the first one, telling the system when a client starts accessing our services for the first time. So we start by clicking on Clients, doing a search for the client that has started to access our services. In this case we'll use Greg Lawton. We'll click on his name, and right now my user account is attached to the Telma program, so we'll say as of November 1st Greg Lawton started accessing services from Telma. We'll scroll through the rest of the form and fill out information that's missing that we've collected. And what is particularly important for the Employment Services Unit weekly report is right down here near the bottom where it says current employer. So we fill in again what we know, and we click Save. Now the system knows that as of November 1st, Greg Lawton started accessing services from Telma, and he's employed currently at Walmart. The next thing we need to input is the action plan for Greg. So we'll click on the link that says View All Notes. Let's pretend for a moment that none of this is here, and that we need to add a new action plan into the system. So we'll click on the link that says Add New Telma Action Plan. For the different units, obviously it won't say Telma, it just might say Add New Action Plan, but you'll figure out which one it is. Click on that link, and in here we have information that we can input, as it says a constraint statement, employment goal category, the date the goal is being set, we'll say November 1st, when the goal is met, the date that it's met, but we'll input that later, what my strengths are, what my challenges are, and then some details around what my action plan is. So input as much of that as you like, but this is the one that's really important, the date the goal is set, and the employment goal and category. Those are very important as well. So we'll fill in what we know, and we'll click Save, and then as we can see we've got a Telma action plan for November the 1st. Once that goal has been met, we're not going to add a new action plan, we're going to go back and add the information to the existing one. So we're going to click on View or Edit. The date the goal is met, let's say I found a job particularly quickly, November 3rd, and click Save. So now the system knows the date the goal was set and the date the goal was met. The other thing that we need to tell it is the employment information. So down here now, or near the bottom again, we see a link that says Add New Employment Information. So we're going to click on that one. Wants to know, was this employment paid or placement? Let's say it was paid employment. Employer name, position, full-time, part-time, or casual. It's related to my goal. The date the job starts. Let's say it started on November 3rd because that's the date the goal was met. The date it was finished. Count this as initial employment, yes or no. And then the 6-month employment date we don't worry about at this point. And then we click Save again. So now the system knows that the client was registered in the Telma program. We put in an action plan for the person, and once that goal was met, we put in the employment information for the goal. Those are the three things you need to input for the Employment Services Unit weekly report to be able to give the information that it's asked to give. So just so you can see the outcome of all this, when I go to the reports menu and I put in a start date of October 30th, which was the beginning of this week, and November 5th, which is the end of this week, and I run the ESU weekly report, We'll see that for Telma, there's one new registrant, Greg Lawton, who registered on November the 1st. My current job was at Walmart. My employment goal was an accountant. And then clients with outcomes during that period of time, again, Greg Lawton, paid employment, date of outcome was on the 3rd. The employer was BDO Dunwoody, and it was related to my employment goal. So if you have any questions about that, by all means feel free to ask, and that's it. Thanks very much.